Greetings and welcome, Colonists, to another episode of Let's Do a Level of Outpost 2. Divided Destiny, the Eden Mission 12, the final mission. Exodus. Brooke was incredulous. Human factors? What the frack does that mean? In frustration, he kicked a recycle bin across Senator Odson's tiny office and immediately felt like a childish fool for doing so. Yet if he was going to die, he had to know why. Even Axon, as many enemies as he had made, had been given a boarding pass. Why me? Senator Odson was sympathetic, but unyielding. Son, you want a bureaucratic line or the straight truth? He read the answer in Brooke's face. The truth is, somebody with power doesn't like you. The Savant had you on the preliminary crew roster, but there's a tweak built into the program to allow some override of the system. In theory, there are some human factors that the computer might not be able to understand or appreciate, and that allowed for adjustment. In practice, it's been used in a number of cases, including yours. Echo, it's the only answer. This is the revenge you promised. You've been a great help to us recently, Brooke. You fought the good fight and done well. I wish you could reward that. Odson shrugged his shoulders. But there isn't anything I can do about it privately. And if we go public, the entire crew selection process could devolve into chaos. We could all be at one another's throats before we knew what was happening. If it's any consolation, I'm not going either. None of us on the Senate are. We declared it a conflict of interest and removed ourselves from the running. Brooke looked at the man, the tiredness in his eyes, the lines that had appeared in his face in the last few months, the slight tremor in his once strong and steady hands, and found himself regretting that he'd come at all. I'm sorry, Senator. I didn't know. You've got kids? He nodded. 2. It's hard for them. For us all. Brooke stood and self-consciously repositioned the recycle bin. Just forget I was here, Senator. I'm sorry to have bothered you. He paused to the door. You know, you can still count on me, for whatever it takes. He smiled sadly. I know we can, son, and thank you. Nobody knew when the gene bank would be transferred, including Axon, on the assumption that secrecy was the best way to safeguard it from the Masters. They'd created the false gene bank and the cover story that it had been damaged beyond repair during the return from Plymouth. Axon hadn't expected that story to hold them off forever, but it gave him time to hide the real item and arrange for its safe removal to the starship. Axon knew that the fewer people knew of a secret, the safer the secret was, so he confided only in a trusted few, Brooke, Colo, and Odson, and had recruited only these 3 to assist him in the move. But since none of them would have advance warning of the event, there was no possibility of the information leaking out somehow. He'd instructed Kraft to generate a randomly timed message before a randomly chosen launch, and that message had popped up hours before. Then the first flaw in the plan became apparent. He wasn't able to contact Colo. The scientist wasn't in his quarters, or in the largely mothballed advanced lab, where the gene bank had been hidden in a case marked geological instruments. Brooke had seemed only mildly concerned. He's probably found himself a lady friend that he's staying the night with, Axon. Not everybody can be as saintly as you are, or as unlucky as I am. But Axon's internal alarms all went off at once. Every step and turn of the trip from the lab to the space center could have been braced for trouble. His hand never left his pocket, where it gripped a fully-loaded pistol. His hands were scanning for the slightest bit out of the ordinary. But they reached the RLV loading platform without incident. 4 armed volunteer guards flanked the yawning cargo hatch in the big rocket's side. He scanned their faces and took some comfort in the fact that they were all familiar. All the people he'd worked with before. A technician checked off the cargo manifest and authorization on his clipcom and directed him to the location where the crate could be attached to the deck with quick-release bolts, then disappeared back to his station by the hatch. Axon watched closely as Brooke fastened it tight and triple-checked the bolts. He shook his head. This just isn't right. I have to see it with my own eyes. Brooke looked confused, but stepped back out of the way as Axon unlocked the crate's lid and removed a false lid designed to simulate the top of the equipment listed on the manifest. Under it, the actual top of the gene bank was exposed, Another key and lock were required to open it. Vapor from the cold liquefied gases inside boiled over the side of the box and cascaded to the deck like a frosty waterfall. He produced an insulated glove from his pocket and put it on. Using the protected hand, he unlatched the mechanism and slid it up out of its hyper-cold bath. The gene bank's complex innards were revealed, tens of thousands of tiny glass vials housed in a complex carousel mechanism capable of delivering any given vial by a number. A large insulated can at the top housed the motor and drivetrain that powered the whole thing. "It looks fine to me," said Brooke. Axon squinted and looked closely. It did look fine, and it was certainly genuine. Unlike the original Earth-made bank that had been destroyed, this one had been handmade in Eden just before the dissidents left to found Plymouth, and no complete plans had ever existed. The replica they created had been designed only to fool eyes that had never seen the original. Axon had studied this one carefully before committing it to its hiding place. "It's genuine." He slid the mechanism back into the case, and sealed the lid before any thermal damage was done. His fingers played over a small control panel that projected from the upper side of the box. "All the more reason I think the masters are up to something." Brooke's brow wrinkled in concern. "You have any idea how to find out what?" Axon nodded. "Well, ask," he said. The familiar structure factory control gallery was dark and unnaturally quiet. No new structures had been produced in months, and the plant might never be used again. That made it perfect neutral territory for their meeting. Axon and Brooke stood on one side of the platform, Echo and G on the other. Everybody had a gun. Nobody was talking. Echo broke the silence. "Waiting for something, Elder?" Axon said nothing, but just then there was a rumble, and the building shook slightly. On hearing the sound, Echo smiled for no apparent reason. "That'll be the Clipper taking off. It's safe to talk now," Brooke said. Echo was still smiling. "Safe to talk about the gene bank? Yes, I suppose it is." Brooke's mouth fell open. Axon just met her eyes unflinchingly. "You knew?" She laughed. "Your fake was very convincing, even after we inspected it closely. There was even human genetic material in the remains of the vials." Her face went serious. "It was too good. I analyzed the genetic material. All of it had been reproduced from a single sample, and as you can imagine, I had no trouble determining whose." "Dr. Colo," said Axon. "The fake had to be crafted in one of the labs, we knew that. The sample told us who had done the work, and from there, the rest was easy." Brooke stepped forward, anger on his face. "Where's Colo?" "He had an unfortunate accident. Several of them actually, until he told us what we needed to know. By then though, the cumulative effects were fatal." Axon felt his stomach knot. One more death on his conscience. He glanced warily at Brooke. The young man looked mad enough to do something stupid, and there'd been enough innocent deaths today. "So you found the gene bank and sabotaged it? How? It looked fine when I checked it before launch." She laughed, deep and hard, until tears ran down her cheeks. Only G's vigilance kept them from subduing her. Finally she managed to calm herself a bit. "What's so funny? The irony! Your precious gene bank is fine. I took it for granted that you wouldn't be any less through with your inspection than we were. If the gene bank had been less than perfect, we might not have been able to smuggle the bomb that we installed into its motor housing onto the RLV and in turn onto the starship." Brooke's eyes went wide. "You used the gene bank as a Trojan horse, so you could use your bomb to hijack the ship." She laughed again. "And now, the starship is ours. We won't let you leave here until the box is safely stowed on the starship." "Put down your guns. Slowly," said a woman's voice from behind him. Axon glanced over his shoulder to see a muscular woman aiming a rifle at him from the rear stairway. He recognized her as one of the three masters Brooke had identified from his first meeting, the one named Sharon. "Do as she says," he instructed Brooke as he laid his own gun gently on the deck and pushed it away with his toe. He looked back at Echo. "You're going to kill us now, I suppose?" She smiled, clearly enjoying the moment. "I might kill you, Elder." Her attention turned back to Penarty, and anger flashed in her eyes. "But not you, Brooke. I want you to alive to watch the Clipper's final departure with me on it. I want you left here to watch as the light in the sky as the starship fires its engines and pulls out of orbit. I want you to see the flash when I kick your precious gene bank out of the airlock and blow it to atoms. I want you here when the blight rolls over the horizon and melts you into a bag of pus. When the blight gets me, he answered, in a new calm in his voice, you'll be right here to enjoy the show. Your bomb isn't on its way to the starship. It's about half a meter under the platform where you're standing. Reflexively, she looked down, then caught herself. You couldn't have removed it so quickly. There were too many booby traps. We didn't, said Axon. When I realized the mechanism didn't work, I guessed you might have done something of the sort, and decided to let you tell me what your plan was. Loyal members of the Volunteer Guard have been monitoring this whole conversation remotely and are watching all access from this building. Echo dug frantically in her pocket and produced a small card device. I can still destroy the gene bank, but you two and it as hostages. We can go wherever we want, do whatever we want. You still lose. Only if you're willing to die for the cause of glorious genetic purity. His eyes locked with G. Are you G? Do you believe that strongly? Yes, he said with only slight hesitation. You, Sharon? Completely, she replied. There was no hesitation at all, either in timing or tone. That settled it. His only hope was to work on G. He made eye contact with the big man again. I suppose you think Van Dozier believes it as well, don't you, G? He frowned, suspicious, but nodded. Echo realized they were up to something and waved her gun at him. Shut up! Both of you, G, Sharon, don't listen to them! Is there something you don't want them to hear, Dr. Van Dozier? Some personal secret? Shut up! You're all clones in the inner circle, aren't you, G? The 99.9th percentile people, the super race. G said nothing, but he was listening intently. Axon continued. I suppose Echo told you she was one too. Maybe even showed you documents to prove it. But those would be easy enough to fake, for her to fake in her position. The look on Echo's face showed that she'd finally realized what they were about to say. Axon half expected her to shoot him then, which might have been served his ultimate purpose as well as what happened. It's a lie! Tell them, Brooke! Brooke looked at her, almost apologetically. Her parents were elders. She was conceived naturally. Her father died before she was born, and she and her mother nearly died during the famine 3 years after landing. He hesitated. Her identical twin did die. Tears were streaming down Echo's face. Her gun hand trembled. No! She's just one of the genetic mongrels your movement professes to hate. A hurt, broken one, who spent her whole life trying to replace a twin she can barely remember. Echo shook her head. No, no! Then she fired. Things started to happen all at once. Axon ducked as the muzzle of G's gun sprung up towards him and fired. Axon hit the deck and rolled, unsure whether either bullet had hit him. Brooke jumped towards Van Dozier, and her gun fired again at point-blank range. The bomb trigger flew out of her hand and landed on the deck near Axon, who grabbed it and shielded it with his body. Axon was looking for the gun when he realized that G was lowering his own weapon, and was paying no attention to him. G's attention was fixed on the rear stair, where the woman known as Sharon hung limply over a railing, blood running down her arm and over her face in a thick cascade. Van Dozier pushed Brooke away from her. He flattened out on the deck, revealing the blackened hole in the front of his shirt, and lay unmoving. Van Dozier raised her pistol to shoot Axon. G spun and shot her cleanly through the forehead. He watched her fall, then turned and handed the gun, butt first to Axon. I think I've made a mistake, he said. Axon slumped into the lone chair in his quarters and looked around warily. He couldn't remember the last time his life had been this simple. Most of his work was done. The debts that could be repaid had been. All but two. He looked at Kraft. This was the first one. Kraft opened a channel to Emma, full visual. It took only 20 minutes before her face appeared on the screen. He didn't move in all that time. Emma, if you have a favor to ask of me, there has never been a better time. She smiled that sad smile. Good, because I'm finally ready to ask, and to offer a little gift in exchange. Something Frost, your missing scientist, and I were able to cook up in the last few moments. Craft, please display the data we were sending for Axon. Another window opened on the screen, displaying a series of schematics and formulas. What is it? A minor modification of your starship's ion engines to improve efficiency. It should increase your payload capacity by 10 to 15% with no additional fuel. Axon was surprised in spite of himself. Why are you giving us this, Emma? Why squander your resources on something you had no way to apply? She chuckled. Because I have a use for that extra payload, Axon. I'm sending you some passengers. Brooke lay in the med station bed, watching his own life signs flickering on the screens. He would have preferred to do most anything else, but it hurt to move. The door slid open and Axon walked in. He leaned over the bed. How are you doing? For someone with 3 broken ribs and possible internal bleeding, not bad. It could have been worse. Would have been worse if he hadn't stuffed those armor pads taken from a combat suit under a shirt as Axon had insisted. He felt rotten as he found himself smiling. We did it, didn't we? Axon smiled back. We did it. Even if Plymouth's forces overrun us, the gene bank is safe on the starship. We've saved everything that humanity is. Given it another chance. He patted the young man gently on the arm. Then his expression changed, as though he remembered something almost forgotten. He reached into his pocket. I brought you something. He removed a black plastic square and placed it in Brooke's hand. Brooke rolled it over and looked at the Eden logo embossed on the surface. It was a boarding pass. He looked up at Axon. Where did you get this? It's mine. What? Senator Odson was able to shuffle some records without drawing undue attention. It has your name on it now. I can't take this. He tried to hand the pass back to Axon. Axon just waved it away. I never intended to go. I'm old, at least compared to the rest of you. I managed to duck the hibernation sickness the first time. I doubt I'd be so lucky the second, even with the improved methods. It's your turn. He stood and started to leave the room. Just remember, I've been where you're about to go. Don't be so sure I'm doing you any favors. Oh, it's very noble of him. Right. Mission briefing. Commander, with the gene bank secured, we must finish our starship and evacuate for the last time. Word has leaked out that we may not have enough room for everyone on the starship, and low morale is hampering our efforts. See what you can do to make the colonists happier and more productive for our final efforts. The scientists we rescued have brought information about the level of desperation at Plymouth. They are simply too far behind to finish a starship in time. They may be ready to negotiate a treaty, or they may launch one last full-scale assault on our spaceport. Plymouth had recently begun to make some special modifications to their SULVs. A rescue came before our scientists could gather information about these modifications. But be ready for anything that happens. Plymouth will probably attack with everything they have left. If so, we must defend our colony long enough to collect the necessary resources for our long journey to a new world. We don't know what to expect. Perhaps Plymouth will finally realize the gravity of the situation and begin to act rationally. Yeah, not really likely. Quickly finish the items in the specific objective list and evacuate the colony. Humanity lives or dies with your actions, Commander. Good luck. Alright, so just some metals and some food. We can do that.
Command control initiated.
Of course, the game isn't going to make this easy, but you know.
RLV ready.
Alright, so the RLV has arrived from the other colony site. That is fine. And now to get everything into position.
Caution. Food storage diminishing.
Right. I have some structure kits in here.
Power levels optimal.
Get everyone to locations where they can be of most use. Let's see.
Morale is good.
Not entirely sure why we have a robo-surveyor, but sure. Right, let's start connecting you up. Let's build some more cargo trucks. Now there is also a
Morale is
a
excellent.
free thing, common ore mine. We're not going to be using that because it's useless to us. Right, let's also start with the
Food
final
production
things.
in
Let's get the heat
surplus.
dissipation module going. And we do
Vehicle
have
ready.
a common lab over here, or standard lab. Let's get some let's get that research going. So instead we'll be using this one, because we will be able to defend that one a little bit better. Alright.
Tube completed.
Let's also get
Vehicle
some
ready.
tubing over there. And that's some false hammer guard posts. Now,
Caution. Seismic watch initiated.
game is being a little sneaky here in that it doesn't tell us that we are lacking something rather important. And that is, we don't have a nursery. Now, at the moment we don't need the children, but
Alert.
if we don't have
Seismic
exactly
event
enough
imminent.
people, then, well, we're going to be a little bit screwed.
Structure completed. Structure disabled. Morale is good. Power levels optimal. Caution. Food storage diminishing.
Let's
Warning.
also build an
Seismic
acrodome.
event detected. Research completed. Research completed.
Let's also build a geocon.
Structure kit manufactured.
Right. Search the Phoenix module.
Vehicle ready. Tube
And there's nothing
completed.
left to research over there.
Morale is fair.
Let's build another solar satellite, just in case we need it.
Structure completed.
Set up that.
Satellite manufactured. Structure kit manufactured.
Alright. Just get some power where we can find it. And some solar array. Right, meteor defense. We will need that. Not so much from the meteors, but from the missiles that Plymouth will be sending our way.
Structure kit manufactured. Morale is poor. Wall completed.
Right. Let's get the acrodome building.
Wall completed.
There. Just narrow
Power
the
levels
flank
up.
where the enemy can do something annoying.
Research completed. Vehicle ready.
And some more Tiger
Caution.
EMPs will
Food
probably help.
storage diminishing. Morale is terrible.
Right, let's build a nursery.
Structure completed. Vehicle ready. Food production in surplus. Structure kit manufactured.
And
Structure completed. Wall completed.
let's get a vehicle factory going. Right. Out of resources.
Structure completed.
Some more cargo trucks.
Structure completed.
Plymouth could strike at any moment. With nothing much I can do about it.
Vehicle ready.
Right.
Structure kit manufactured.
Get the solar power array in orbit, because we do have a solar satellite. Let's see, we could do another residence. And we have one in storage, so why not? Just to make sure that we stay above the number of people we need.
Caution. Vortex watch initiated. Structure completed.
Alright. More Thor's hammers, tigers.
Alert. Seismic event imminent. Alert. Vortex imminent. Morale is terrible. Wall completed. Warning. Missile launch detected.
And that's what I was waiting
Warning.
for.
Seismic event detected. Warning. Vortex
And it failed.
detected. Food production in surplus.
Good shooting.
Warning. Incoming missile. Vehicle ready. Structure completed.
Alright, let's get another vehicle factory going. And we have the surplus workers, so that's not really a problem. Not seeing anyone coming just yet.
Vehicle ready.
Right. And
We
now
are under
everything,
attack.
and there they are.
Our colony is under attack. Structure kit manufactured. Damage warning. We are under attack. Power levels optimal.
Well, so far this isn't too bad yet.
Structure disabled. Structure destroyed. Tube completed.
Well, that was to be expected. Luckily we have some surplus units.
Morale is terrible. Our colony is under attack. Vehicle ready. We are under attack. Food production in surplus. Structures disabled. Warning. Power shortage. Structure destroyed. Tube completed.
Alright.
Tube completed. Structure completed.
Mission control.
Let's get another solar satellite in orbit.
RLV launched. Solar power satellite deployed. Structures disabled.
Oh, that's no good.
Structure kit manufactured. Vehicle ready. We are under attack. Structure completed. Vehicle ready. Wall completed. Our colony is under attack. Structures disabled. RLV ready. We are under attack. Damage warning.
Now the best bet really is to have your units a bit more spread out, So that they won't all get hit at once by...
Structures disabled. Warning. Missile launch detected.
Yeah.
Warning. Incoming missile.
So that
Structure
doesn't happen.
completed. Caution. Food storage diminishing. Morale is 10. Vehicle ready. Warning. Power shortage. Structures disabled. Structure kit manufactured.
Mission control.
Food production in surplus. Bulldozing completed.
Alright.
We are under attack. Structures disabled. Caution. Meteor watch initiated. Structure kit manufactured. We are under attack. Damage warning. Vehicle destroyed. Our colony is under attack. Structure completed. Power levels optimal. Alert. Meteor impact imminent. Morale is poor. Starship module manufactured.
Mission control.
Alright, let's
We
load
are
the
under
Phoenix
attack.
module.
RLV launched. Phoenix module deployed. Structure completed. Warning.
Alright.
Meteor approaching.
Let's keep on building up.
Vehicle ready. Morale is fair. RLV ready. Caution.
Right.
Vortex watch initiated.
So now I just need to get
Structure kit
the various
manufactured.
cargoes going, but that requires that I have enough. And I don't. At present. Ooh. Incoming.
Structure disabled. Alert. Vortex imminent.
Well, that was a dumb
Vehicle
strategy.
ready. Our colony is under attack. We are under attack. Food production in surplus. Structure completed. Warning. Vortex detected.
Right, that's too far away from me to be really a concern.
Vehicle ready.
Let's get some more meteor defense going.
Power levels optimal.
Best make sure that the various outposts are still at peak functioning levels.
Structure repaired.
Get some Tiger lasers as well, since the lasers will do fantastic damage against anything
Warning.
at close range.
Missile launch detected.
Alright, that's fine.
Warning. Incoming missile.
And it missed.
Structure kit manufactured. Morale is poor. Vehicle ready. Our colony is under attack. We are under attack. Structure disabled.
Alright, so far so good.
Structure completed. Vehicle ready. Morale is fair.
Mission control.
Alright,
Structure kit manufactured.
let's build another acrodome. Just to speed up the
Food production
whole thing
in
there.
surplus. Structure kit manufactured.
Right. Let's keep things
We are under
intact.
attack. Vehicle destroyed. Structure repaired. Our colony is under attack. Power levels optimal. We are under attack. Damage warning. Structure completed. Our colony is under attack. Structure repaired. We are under attack. Damage warning. Structure kit manufactured. Structure disabled. Morale is good. Caution. Meteor watch initiated.
Alright.
Our colony is under attack. Structure destroyed.
Well, that was bound to happen.
Structure kit manufactured. Morale is fair. Alert. Meteor impact imminent. Warning. Meteor approaching. Structure completed.
Alright, another repair vehicle, I think. Get another acid cloud going.
Structure kit manufactured.
And we are full up.
Vehicle ready. Food production in surplus.
And we've got more incoming.
Power levels optimal. Vehicle ready. We are under attack. Warning. Missile launch detected. Morale is poor. Warning.
Alright.
Incoming missile.
And that'll
We
do
are
for this
under
episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.